Hello and welcome to my Cricut tutorial. My name is William J. Dorsett. I'm an artist in San Diego, California. I do spray paint art, digital art, drawings, and paintings. Anyways, I'm going to show you how to use the Cricut design space because it's a little difficult if you don't know what you're doing. First, you click Cricut design space icon and it'll load the main page. If you have never used this before, um, it's not too hard, but it does take a little bit of learning. It comes with all kinds of stuff that you can use. Uh, for example, you can go to the image section and there are tons of images already pre-made and ready to go. A lot of them they want to charge you for, though you do have some that are free. It has categories of different things that are free, and then as a subscriber, you get a bunch of different things too. I don't really like their designs. I think their designs are really kind of cheap and lame, and really like I don't know. I think that if you are able to do Illustrator work or anything like that, you can make better designs. But these are all super simple. I can already design around a lot of these designs that they've made. So yeah, we're going to show you how it works. Now with their pre-made designs, it's just plug and play, automatically works just fine. You're not going to have any problems there. But their tutorials, they tell you to just upload an image. And so we'll just take this image of this cat that I downloaded. They tell you to click simple and then go to continue. They tell you to erase anything that is not part of the image you want to do. Okay, so I did that. Click continue, which leaves you with this little image of the cat right here. Now this should work, but we'll save it. We'll go and click insert image. Now here's one of the things that gets annoying. It has you place it here, but now we click make it and it moves it out of the placement area that we had it. So if I want it placed in a different spot, I have to actually move it around. So now we click continue. Now at this point it wants us to load the paper in, and I press the load button. Now after you load it, there'll be a little flashing C on your Cricut machine. You press the flashing C and it should start cutting. But instead what it's doing is it's scanning it, and we're about to get an error message. Give it just a few seconds to scan it. So yeah, it just keeps scanning it and scanning it and scanning it, and then you get this error message. Print, then cut error. The machine cannot read the cut sensor marks. Please make sure you're using white material, it is positioned correctly on the mat, and the cut sensor marks are fully printed. Press the flashing go button on your machine and try again. Okay, so we're just going to cancel that. Reason this is because this does not work. For some reason, their way of doing this just does not work. Like, they say you can just import an image and go from that image to cut in like 2 or 3 steps, but I have done this like 20 times and I still get the same error message. So we're just going to delete that. And this is where you need something like Adobe, because Adobe will save your ass on this. What you need to do is make a new file on Adobe. I like Illustrator for this. Then you open your JPEG. So there's the cat. You select all. You select sketch art image trace, and it will automatically trace that image. Then you expand it. Now it's vectored. So your simple image is now vectored and ready for printing, or almost ready. Now you gotta select it again. You want to go ahead and expand it again just to be safe. And then you go down to Object and Compound Path and click Make. Now, I messed up, so I gotta go back and show you where I messed up. Before you do all that, when your image has been traced, it will also trace the background. So you want to go through and delete all your background, which I had forgotten to do. The background is the little square edges that are around here and this white right here. So you just hit backspace and it'll delete it. Now, I can select all, go to Object and Compound Path and click Make. Now it made it into a compound path. You can see that there. Beforehand, let's go back just to show you what it was beforehand. It was a group, and the machine can't read a group. So we'll select all, Object, Compound Path, Make. Now you want to save this as a standard vector graphics file, which is an SVG. We'll name it cat. So now we have cat SVG. You save that. Now you can go back into your Cricut software. Go back to your upload area. Get rid of this old cat that didn't work. Upload your image. Which here it is, cat SVG. And you save it. Then you just click Insert Image. It'll put it onto this screen. It tells you you can adjust it and all that stuff, but watch this. We're going to turn it to the side and click Make It. Automatically, it put it right back where we had it. It didn't leave it where we moved it. It didn't leave it turned to the side. But that's okay. We can drag it down. This is another annoying part about the software. You would think that the makers of this would understand how artists work and how their art form works, and so when you place it on the other screen, it would automatically keep it at that place spot on this screen. But it won't do that. I'm going to show you some tricks on making that happen too, but for right now, we'll just move this cat over to where we need it. Now, your paper is 8.5 by 11, so you don't want to go over the halfway mark on the 8. So we're just going to keep it before the 8. And you don't want to go over the 11 mark down here. So you want to keep it about here. So we're also going to show you 8.5 by 11 there. And see it move the cat again when we did that. Now we want this cat to be somewhere in the middle. That way if we're doing spray painting, we have a little bit further away from the edges that our paint won't bleed over onto our paper when we're painting. So you click Continue. Now it says Load the Mat. You'll press the glowing arrow button, which looks like this. That will load the mat into the machine. Then you press the glowing Cricut button, which is next to the arrow button. It looks like the Cricut logo, and it glows when it's ready to go. You just press it. And now it does what it's supposed to. It says cutting. It's actually going to go through and cut this cat out. This will take about, I don't know, a couple of seconds. Not long since it's not a detailed stencil. But yeah, it just cuts the cat out. And then it unloads it from the page. So then you just press the unload button, which is the same button you loaded with. And it will unload your paper. Then you just peel your paper from your sticky part of your mat, and you peel your cat up from that. I'll take video of me actually doing this with one of the stencils in a moment, and I will add that to the end of this tutorial. So from there, you just take another piece of paper, you load your mat, just the same way you would the first time. Go and stick it in the machine, getting it ready for load. You click finish on your software, and that's done. When you're done with that, you can click new, hit replace, and now get rid of your cat. Go ahead and go to delete your cat if you're not going to use it again anytime soon. You can always upload it again later. Now here's where it gets interesting. So let's go back in Illustrator. Going to do a new stencil. So I'm going to open up this dolphin that I have here. Alright, want to select all. Want to click sketch start under image trace. It will trace it. Then you hit expand. That will expand your image and turn it into a vector. Now you want to take your select tool and you want to select any potential background and remove it. Now you want to select all again, object, expand, object, compound path, make. Now your object is now a compound path. Now with the placement of your object, as you saw, the cricut machine just keeps moving the objects around, not where you want them. Now, there is a nifty little trick you can do in Illustrator before you ever send this to Cricut that will save you a whole lot of trouble with problems, and it'll also make your printing a whole lot easier if you're doing multi-layered stencils for spray painting. So you want to make a little box like this and use this tool here, the rectangle tool or the shape tool. You make a box, and then you want to hit Alt and your select tool, and you want to drag your box, the exact same box, to each corner so that it builds a box around your image. And then you want to select all again, object, expand, object, compound path, make. Now, your image should be framed with 4 little boxes like this. And if this is a multi-layer image, this will help you a lot, because when you print them out or cut them out, you'll have a reference point that you can align each piece of paper so that the images line up perfectly for spraying. If you're just doing simple cutouts, you won't need this. It doesn't really matter because you'll be using the actual cutout itself for your artwork. But if you're doing spray paint, this is important. So we want to save this file, and you want to save it as a standard vectors graphics file. Okay, it says Dolphin clip art. So we're saving it as a standard vectors graphics file. Go ahead and close Adobe. We'll open up our Cricut. We'll upload the image. The image is loaded, and as you can see, the 4 squares are there. We'll insert the image. It places it randomly wherever it wants to place it, but we're going to move it. And we're going to have to move it again once we get it in there, but we need to resize it just a little so that it doesn't overtake that 8.5. And you click Make It. It wants to move the object past the 8, but we're not past the 8.5, so that is just fine. The object is placed pretty much where we want it to be placed, and that's what that little trick will do. It gives a border for your objects so that your objects don't get moved around. So once you do this, you click Continue, and then it's going to have you load the mat and all that stuff. I'm going to go ahead and take this over to the video camera now and film the loading and unloading process. I hope this tutorial helps you a lot in using your Cricut machine. Thank you for checking out my tutorial, and check out more of my work at mymagiccreations.com. Thank you. Have a great day.